There's one piece of retirement advice that's been repeated for so long that most people don't even question it anymore. Wait until age 70 to claim Social Security. It's become one of those financial rules that gets passed around like grandma's famous cookie recipe. Your neighbor says it. Your coworker says it. The guy on television says it. Even well-meaning family members will confidently tell you, don't claim early, just wait until 70. And on the surface, it sounds like brilliant advice. After all, waiting usually means a larger monthly check. Who wouldn't want that? But here's the problem. A bigger monthly check doesn't automatically mean more money over your lifetime. In fact, depending on your health, your family situation, and how long you live, waiting until age 70 could actually leave you with less lifetime income than claiming earlier. That surprises a lot of people because most of us naturally focus on one number, the size of the check. But retirement isn't won by collecting the biggest monthly payment. It's won by making the decision that gives you the greatest value over the rest of your life. And those are two very different things. Let me show you what I mean. Picture two friends, Tom and Rick. Both retire at exactly the same age. Both qualify for Social Security. Tom has one plan, to wait until age 70 because everyone says that's the smartest move. Rick, on the other hand, isn't so sure. He sits down, looks at his finances, talks things through with his wife, and decides to claim earlier. A few years later, Tom finally starts receiving his larger monthly benefit. Rick has already been collecting checks for years. So who's winning? Here's the honest answer. At that moment, nobody knows, because the answer depends on something neither of them can predict: how long they'll live. And that's where something called the break-even point comes in. Don't worry, this isn't about complicated math. Think of it like this. Imagine someone offers you two choices. You can start receiving money today, or you can wait several years and receive a much larger amount every month. The larger payment sounds exciting, but while you're waiting, you're turning down years of payments. Those checks don't get saved for later. They don't earn interest. They simply never arrive. So eventually there comes a point where the larger monthly checks finally catch up to all the payments you skipped. That's the break-even point. If you live well beyond that point, waiting may work out beautifully. If you don't, it may not. And that's why blanket advice can be dangerous, because nobody knows exactly how long they're going to live. Now, before anyone misunderstands me, I'm not saying you should claim early. I'm also not saying you should wait until 70. I'm saying those decisions deserve more thought than, well, that's what everybody else is doing. Retirement isn't a copy and paste exercise. Your circumstances are different from your neighbors. Your savings are different. Your health is different. Your goals are different. So why would the perfect claiming age be exactly the same? Now let's make this even more interesting, because if you're married, this decision becomes much bigger than just your own paycheck. Now, I want you to meet David and Susan. David spent most of his career earning a higher income. Susan worked too, but her benefit will be smaller. Over breakfast one morning, they start talking about Social Security. David shrugs and says, "I'll probably claim as soon as I retire. I'd rather enjoy the money while I can." Susan agrees. It sounds reasonable, until their financial planner asks one simple question. What happens if David passes away first? The room goes quiet. Like many couples, they'd never really thought about it. Here's why that question matters. When one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse generally keeps the larger of the two Social Security benefits rather than continuing to receive both. That means the claiming decision made by the higher-earning spouse doesn't just affect today's income. It can affect the surviving spouse's financial security for years, even decades. Suddenly, waiting until 70 doesn't seem like a decision that's only about getting a bigger monthly check. For some couples, it can also mean providing a larger survivor benefit later on. That's why married couples shouldn't think of Social Security as two separate decisions. It's really one shared retirement strategy, and that strategy should take both lives into account. There's another piece of this puzzle that often gets overlooked: health, not because anyone enjoys talking about it, but because ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. Let's be honest. If you're healthy, active, and your family tends to live well into their 90s, delaying benefits may make a lot of sense. You could enjoy those larger monthly checks for many years, but life doesn't come with guarantees. Some people face serious health challenges. Others have a family history that makes them think differently about retirement. That doesn't automatically mean claiming early is the right answer. It simply means your health should be part of the conversation. Too many people treat retirement planning like it's a math problem. Sometimes it's also a life problem. What kind of retirement do you want? Do you dream of traveling while you're still energetic enough to enjoy it? Helping your children buy their first home? Taking your grandchildren on family vacations? Or maybe your greatest joy is simply knowing your spouse will be financially secure if something happens to you. Those goals matter. In fact, they matter just as much as the size of your Social Security check. Because money isn't the goal. Money is simply the tool. The goal is building the retirement you've imagined for decades. So the next time someone confidently tells you, just wait until 70, it's always the best choice. Remember this, always is a dangerous word in personal finance. Sometimes waiting is absolutely the smartest move. Sometimes claiming earlier makes more sense. The right answer depends on your health, your savings, whether you're married, your other sources of retirement income, and what you're actually trying to accomplish. The biggest mistake isn't claiming at 62, it isn't claiming at full retirement age, and it isn't waiting until 70. The biggest mistake is believing there's one perfect age for everyone, because retirement isn't about winning the prize for the biggest monthly check. It's about making decisions that give you and the people you love the greatest financial confidence for the years ahead. So, before you choose a claiming age, don't just ask, how can I get the biggest benefit? Ask a better question. Which choice gives my family the greatest lifetime value? That one question could make all the difference. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more straightforward retirement insights that cut through the noise, challenge common financial myths, and help you make smarter decisions with confidence. Because when it comes to retirement, the best strategy isn't the one everyone else is following. It's the one that's right for you.